Well, hello, beautiful souls on YouTube. James MacNeil here. I'm just going to give us a couple of moments to get locked and loaded, make sure we're live, and then I'm going to introduce you to our guests. We're going to have a great, great time together. So hang on, and we will start momentarily. All righty. Well, one and all, welcome to GoodLife GPS, and this podcast is focused exclusively on helping you find the best path to your best life as your best self. Now, as I pull together top leaders and experts, coaches, consultants, I look for people who can help you completely unleash your best possible life, to have a path. And if you're watching right now and you think, maybe I have a story to tell, maybe I have a message to convey, maybe there's more to life than what it seems. Maybe there's more to me than this world has seen. And perhaps you feel a bit of a calling, an idea that says, I would love it if I could become confident, competent, and successful to whatever degree feels right for you as a communicator, as a thought leader, someone who can grab an audience to move them from where they are to where they want to be part of a transformation for people of any generation, for any age, any culture, any community. But today you're going to learn from someone who helps you become a leader of leaders, how you can capture your message, capture your story, to build a brand, to get published, to get on stage. And that might feel like a lot, but just hang on tight, because I believe you're going to be encouraged. I'm about to introduce you to MJ Tolan. This is the coach, MJ Tolan. And this is a man who's very charitable. His focus is on a lot of charity work. He has quite a story, and I hope we get to share some of it. And he's been helping people just like you and just like me get published, get on stage, and even before that, to really find my truth, find my message. And it's cathartic and powerful. And he's going to provide you some encouragement, some direction. So let's get going. Good morning, MJ. Good morning, Coach MJ Tolan. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us today.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome.
Well, I'm excited to learn from you. And can you give us a sense of how did your path take you into the journey of being a communicator on a mass scale and helping others to do the same? How did you get from someone not doing that to the person who does that? What was your journey?
I think I'd have to say it probably started growing up in a big family. You have to speak up if you want to get seconds at the dinner table. That's where it starts. And then, of course, we've all learned, and you probably heard this, that people are more afraid of public speaking than they are of snakes and sharks.
Yeah.
And so throughout my journey, of course, it wasn't always roses, and I certainly didn't have a path, nor did I have a plan to use public speaking as a platform for me. Mm-hmm. But as I got into business and I realized that I had to communicate my ideas in order to get my managers on board and all that kind of stuff. So it just kind of segued into being able to really stand up and do a presentation. And with lots of teachers, lots of great mentors out there, from Dale Carnegie, which is a great one, and all these other guys, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, all these speakers were terrific. However, I also learned that you don't have to be a raw speaker.
Right.
Be a good one.
Yes.
Be effective, be clear, be concise, and have that conviction that people can feel.
Yes.
No matter at what auditory or decibel level it is, if they can feel it and emotionally connect with it, they're very effective.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that for a moment, because as people are listening to us discuss the idea of being a communicator, who knows how comfortable and confident they might be at this moment, right? So talk to me a little bit about, first of all, the prize, the rewards of being a master communicator, because if there's a good enough why, people can move through the journey. I know that it's rewarding as far as career, financially. There's a lot of external rewards to this. But what I wanted to ask you about right now, because I think it's a major thing for you, is how important is it to know that your life has touched another? Whether it's through your charitable work, whether it's through the stage when you're on stage doing what you do, or helping others craft and convey their message. So tell me about that. How much of that is a centerpiece for you of making a difference?
Well, that's totally in my case, it's a real big deal
Yeah.
because of the mission that I've on and been on for 25 years with our charity. But I don't think everybody has to have the same calling. Everyone has their own why, as you said. So my real reason for getting up in the morning, for doing what I do, and it transcends to every speaker I talk to every event that I produce. It all comes down to one thing: can we give value to the people that we're going to serve? Whether they're children or whether they're adults, whether they're corporates, whether they're special interest groups, whatever that is. And is our message authentic?
Yes.
Will it resonate? And are we prepared to give it to the best of our ability?
Yes. Amen. And I think you would agree with me in encouraging our viewers that audiences really want you to do a great job. Like, the last thing an audience wants is for you to suck, right? That's no fun for them. And people are genuinely good people, and they want to have a good experience. And the power of the group ethos, when a group is together, they want to have fun. They want to have a great experience. They want to participate. They may be a little bit shy at coming out of their shells, and we can help the audience with that. But if you're a person saying, I'm not exactly sure if I'm a communicator on stage and so on, the process of developing the skills will unleash and unlock confidence in you in every playground, every conversation, you walk into a store, you're confident, you're at peace, you're able to communicate. It helps everywhere in life. So the skills that you will develop speaking with someone like Coach MJ they will apply to everywhere, whether you choose to be a speaker and get paid. And for me, I've had fun circling the globe multiple times, sharing the stage with all the world's famous people. You know, you mentioned Zig Ziglar. I didn't get on stage with Zig, but I have shared the stage with his son a number of times. And I have shared the stage with Tony Robbins a number of times in front of 5,000 people in a couple of countries, and all kinds of famous people, right? So there's like the perks and the fun. But even if you're not doing all of that, I just want everyone to know, when you're on stage, going to the point that Coach MJ just said, if you care, if you show up prepared, if you aim to serve rather than impress, then 100% of the time you will impress, and people are going to love you, and you're going to feel great of having an impact. Would you agree that it's really safer than people know to be able to take the stage and serve? Would you agree?
I think the real issue here, and you're right, James, I agree with that. The real issue here is the fear of being judged.
Yeah.
What will people think? What will they say? And we do all have this little genie inside of us that wants to hyper evaluate everything and second guess everything. And that's that critical mind that we all have innately. We need to put that person, whoever that is, that male or female critical mind, to sleep. Because we need to come out there uninhibited and just bear all. And when we do, that's when people can really feel that we're being our true self. And that's the authenticness that you're talking about. That's what I'm looking for.
And one of the things that when I've done speaker workshops around the world, I talk about the idea of getting over myself, to not make it about me, but to make it about them, to become other-centered, to become audience-centered, to care more about them and the impact on them than I care about how I'm looking, to be able to become invisible and let the ego just take a rest and just say, I'm here to serve, and I've worked hard to prepare, and it's 100% about them. It's not about me. Would you agree with that? That it's just get your heart and your mind on them rather than be self-centered, be audience member centered.
Are you kidding me? I was asked one time to go and asked if I could talk about this particular subject. My response was, well, it depends on who I'm talking to. And the guy didn't quite understand what I was saying. I said, well, we have to dial in to their code.
Yeah.
They have a frequency, and I need to know who I'm talking to. What type of academic background, or what type of work background, or is there some social connection, or is there anything else that might help me link to them? And then what is it I can probably predict that they might be looking for, and how can I deliver that in such a way where they're going to come out of there feeling like elated instead of feeling like they were hostages for the duration of my talk.
Yes. And so this message, for those of you watching, is for you if you've ever thought, man, there's more to me than this world has seen. There's got to be more to life than I've experienced, expressed, and passed on. And if you had an opportunity to share a thought, share a story with leaders then this is the kind of conversation that can really bless you. So help us with that, MJ. The person's sitting there at home watching us, and they're asking themselves, what does this have to do with me? And where would I get started if this is a conversation that's valuable for me and my future, my business, my family, my life, the people I care about out in the world? What are some first awarenesses or first steps?
Number one, everyone has a story. Everyone. And for us to be able to work together, we need to hear what is your story is. We can bring it to life with your help. It's a partnership.
Yeah.
We don't have any magic answers, but what we do have is a methodology. There is a way to make the cake, and you don't put the eggs in after the flour. There's an order to do it. And so by us understanding what your story is, helping you get it out. And that story might take you 10 minutes. And here's my question. Have you ever been in a family situation or with friends socially, and you talked about your day and something came up and you really shared your story? Have you been able to captivate their attention? Did you feel passionate about the story? And does it really mean anything to you? And could some of the lessons of that story be passed on to others? Well, hey, we're getting somewhere now. Now we can start working with things like that. Take those ingredients and stitch those together and build you a necklace that can transform you not only into a speaker, because we don't need to do that immediately, but get your story out, distill it, and we've got the still to do it. And from that, we'll create a book for you, possibly a chapter in an anthology, about 10 of these a year with different authors all across the globe. So you'll have a published piece of literature that you can use as a business card, which you can stack these up, stand on stage, hold it, and be an authority in your field. And how about that? You've gone from whatever experience you had in your life to becoming a thought leader. What would that be?
Beautiful. And I'm jumping ahead, but I can't resist. I just want everyone watching to be encouraged. I asked Coach MJ, as I always do with my guests, I ask, is there some way that people can learn more, get more, connect with you, whether it's to read a document or something? And so Coach MJ has actually gone, what I would say, more than the extra mile. He's created a little, what would you call it? It's an assessment tool, an intake form, whatever. And you just follow through some questions. And these questions begin to flesh out your thoughts, your ideas, your story, your message, and begins to give Coach MJ the opportunity to be able to take a peek at that and communicate with you and to help you to reveal and refine your message. And you're doing this at no cost. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
So we're going to put the link. We're going to put the link in the description. I just want to get that out of the way now. If people are saying, "I'm not sure how to get started," well, Coach MJ has already gifted you a tool that can enter you into his world, and he can begin to guide you, encourage you, and see where that might lead. So those tools are already being given to you. So first, I guess you're saying is everyone has a story. And if you're not aware of what it is, you can have help. Second, if people listen to you, if people talk to you, if people share their concerns with you, if people, listen to you when you have a story to tell, then these are signs that you have the gift. You have that. And if you feel like, man, I could have landed that story better, I could have made that point better, fine, welcome to Earth. I've been doing this over 30 years. Coach MJ will tell you that there's no end to how good we can get to say, how much positive impact can I have in a tight period of time? But if you can just identify that the seeds are within you, it's time to get started. So number one, I believe, is you have a story. And then what are the next things for people to watch for or to begin to work on? What's your advice to our viewers?
Well, I mean, think about it this way. What we're really talking about, what is the end game of this conversation? Can we help coach you to become a speaker? Yes, we have a pathway for that. To create a TEDx-like keynote, that's definitely for sure. That's at the final yard line. But in the beginning, to help you distill that story. So our program, BookToSpeak.com, is exactly that. We help for you to get the story out, craft that story, get it published, and then use that as a keynote. So where's the first step? The first step is exactly what you said. Do the intake form. Let us get back in touch with you. We'll share a call. see where that takes us. And if that feels like a fit, terrific. And listen to this. What if you decide to go through a speaker program with us? It's a coaching for speaking, it's coaching for writing, and you decide not to become a public speaker. What's the worst that can happen? There will be very few people around you who could probably ask for a raise or a promotion better than you, because your speaking confidence will increase. You'll be able to ask for a discount a lot more eloquently than most other people, and you'll learn how to not become so emotionally frustrated when you're being put on the spot, because you'll have that muscle of confidence already built in. So that's all upside, no downside.
Amen. Amen. I remember when I began, I would be very scared. My voice would quiver, my knees would shake. I would go through all the things that other people would call stage fright or presenter's panic. And for me, that didn't bother me. I'm like, okay, I got some work to do, right? Because this is important. So I've got to get to the other side of this. And I just pushed through. But now, and maybe you'll concur that when you get past that, and for you viewing, if you go through that form, if you have these conversations, if you organize yourself and find out that you can move people's hearts and minds from the stage, you can capture people, you can inspire people, encourage people. When you know you've got that, it says something about you to you. It changes you. And I'll be honest with you, Coach MJ, if I find out there's any audience anywhere in the world that needs a speaker, I'm like, how fast can I get there? And if someone said, but it's not your topic, I'm like, just let me at them. If they told me, oh, this audience is tough, I say, just let me at them. If they say they killed the last 3 speakers, I'm like, let me at them. You become so confident because it's not about you. You've mastered the tools that are very powerful that can engage and move an audience. And no one can take that away from you. Like Coach MJ said, it doesn't mean you have to make this your career. You may want to, but you can't undo the transformation that happens within you. Would you agree with that with your clients? Like, no matter what, like, you can't undo unleashing that kind of competence, capacity, and power. Would you agree that it changes lives?
It absolutely does. And our mindset comes down to something we use with kids. And we've been doing this for 25 years. The ones that are fighting cancer.
Yes.
It's called the I'm possible mindset.
That's right.
Really, it starts within. That everything is possible once we decide and make that decision. And that becomes a habit. And that habitual habit gives us the confidence and the discipline to get up the next day and do more than we would have dared to try a week before.
Yes, yes. I don't know why it just came to mind. Forgive me if it's off track for you, but I just wanted to share the idea. Do you remember the Rocky movies? Rocky, Sylvester Stallone. The first Rocky movie, what few people miss, some people think it's a sports movie. Some people think it's a romance movie, right? It's a love story, right? Of him, Rocky and Adrian. But to me, it is the birth of a person who wanted to change the world. Early in the first movie, he's in a bar. And he's depressed, things aren't going well. And he sees the heavyweight champion of the world on the TV. And he looks at him with such admiration. And the man on TV, the heavyweight champion of the world, says, kids, go to school. Be a good person. Have a good life. You can do it, that kind of thing.
Don't fight.
Yeah, and don't be a fighter. Yeah. And Sylvester Stallone's character, Rocky, looks at that and says, that's who I want to be. I want to be a person who can impact others. I want to be a person that people will listen to, that I can help them, that I can be a leader. And as he leaves the bar, there's a young girl who's in trouble. He meets her on the street and he tries to encourage her. And she's like, go away, freak job, or something like that. And she insults him. And you could just see his heart broken of, I haven't earned the position and mastered the skills to be a world changer. And I'm going to do whatever it takes. And then and then he becomes the guy that everyone wants to listen to. And although he used sports, the journey is very similar. We are compelled to make a positive impact. It's just what turns us on. When we live on purpose, we're another kind of species. And has that been your experience as you help people just unleash and unlock?
There's nothing more powerful and there's nothing more elevating than that.
Yeah.
You can put anything in a glass you could possibly dream of. It's never going to change what I just said and what you're talking about. And going back to what you said, when I was going through my cancer journey and I had
Yeah. Oh.
come to the point where I was ringing the bell that was all done, I wore a particular costume to that event. Yes, I did. I was dressed in Star Spangled Banner Rocky uniform with the boxing gloves, and I screamed Adrian from the
No.
hospital lobby in front of the nurses and the doctors.
Hello, Adrian.
Impossible.
I love it. And that is something I want to make sure that people know. You can also check out and continue to learn more. I mean, do the intake form, because then you're direct, right? But you can join the audience of the podcasts and shows, the Mission I'm Possible podcast and shows that you can take in with Coach MJ. And so I encourage you to definitely pounce on that. So what Coach MJ just said in a few moments, I want everyone to get it, that Coach, you were hit with the C word, cancer. And I have to imagine you reacted kind of like most mortal people, and to have a real why me, or what am I going to do, or that kind of thing. And then you just chose to look at everything in a different way. And I love the story when you say you were showing up in a different costume all the time. So can you just work us through, what did you just say? I have what? To the costumes. And just give an idea of some of the costumes that you wear, because I just think this is awesome.
So anyway, so I'm in there getting an exam. The doctor turns to me. He's got a mask. I can't really see his face.
Yeah.
Just see his eyes. And he goes, "Would you like the good news or the bad news?" I said, "Well, give me the bad news. I'm a tough guy."
Yeah.
"You have cancer." "What's the good news?" "Now we know." OMG. So I couldn't breathe.
Nope. Sorry, I got an excited puppy. Go ahead.
I found myself barking well, you can probably hear that now. So I couldn't breathe for about 3 days. And it was exactly what you just said. It was, why me? Because everybody has that why me moment. But then I kind of thought, after the third day, wait a minute, what have I been doing these last 25, 30 years? I've been motivating people. I've been telling them they can achieve things. I've been showing them that they can be possible. I've been preaching all these things, from Tony Robbins to Brian Tracy to Zig and all these other people. And now I'm the story. OMG. So instead of why me, it was why not me? I'm the best guy to do this. And so I just decided to apply my Mission I'm Possible mentality to the whole journey. I bought costumes. I was walked into the hospital as a gladiator. I walked in the hospital as a samurai warrior. I walked in as a ninja. And, I'll be driving to the hospital with these costumes on, and it was nowhere near Thanksgiving. So people were really giving me looks at the red light.
Yes.
Walking into the hospital, they thought I was a nutcase for sure the first 2 or 3 times. But by the 4th time, the patients were sitting up when they saw me.
Yes.
Their wives and husbands were sitting up. Their kids were looking at me, and I was getting winks of encouragement, like, go get them. And I just knew then that I was really on to something. And even the doctor was like really amazed, like, wow, you're really going through this like nobody else we've ever seen before. And that's what I wanted.
Yes.
I wanted to let this thing called the C be afraid of me.
Yes.
I'm
Amen.
there for a reason. And I was going to change my life and then change others.
I don't know how popular it is, but I've heard the phrase, I don't tell God how big my problems are, tell my problems how big my God is. And just having a different mindset, right?
I love that.
Yeah, isn't that great? And so I just want to begin to pull this together by saying this. Those of you who are watching, you just heard Coach MJ tell a story about being told he had cancer and how he managed himself and he got through it, and now he has a story to tell that touches lives. So here's why I'm bringing that up. Your story is perfect for your impact. If you say, well, I'm embarrassed, I have things about me that are my failings, or I have things about me that are imperfect, or things about me that I don't want to talk about. It's not just your successes that can give you a voice. It may be your journey back from darkness. I have ADHD, I have dyslexia, OCD, complex PTSD, and a bunch of other fancy letters. I couldn't speak till I was 9 in sentences. I couldn't read till I was 21. I have no college, no university. But that was the plan, because that makes it more unique that I get to be one of the world's leading communications experts. Whatever your journey is, it's the story, it's the seeds of the transformation you're going to bring to others. So please be encouraged, and please complete that form. I want you to talk to Coach MJ, and I want to hear about you continuing your journey as a communicator and a leader. I'm going to give you a last thought here, Coach MJ. I really appreciate you taking the time. This is very generous of you. Last thought to our viewers.
So whatever you're doing, wherever you are, you can keep doing what you've been doing, and that's fine. You'll just keep getting what you've been getting. But if you have that little voice in your head in the shower that kind of goes, yeah, but what if? Well, why don't you take a chance on you? Nobody has to know about it. It won't cost you anything. You take that form, you fill it up, you give it some thought, contemplated thought for 5 minutes. We'll set up a call with you. We'll talk about it, and we'll explore potential roadmap for you. It's an option. It won't cost you a thing at this point. And if you want to go into the baby steps of getting this done, we're talking pennies on the dollar that this will get you to be able to get the best business cards you could ever get, which is your story inside a book, becoming one of our authors.
Amen. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please do complete the form and have that conversation with Coach MJ. And I want to just remind everyone, the reason why Coach MJ and I are speaking is because we've met by being speakers at an event. So you get to meet cool people by being speakers. And on that note, I want everyone to hear this. I'm giving you and Coach MJ, we've both been given the freedom to give away free tickets to an event. It's called the 3rd Annual Global Speakers Event. It's happening December 2nd through 19th. And I believe both of us are going to be on stage on the 18th. And so I want everyone to be able to get a free ticket to that and just take in an ocean of genius and good hearts who are sharing from their expertise. So join us at the 3rd Annual Global Speakers Event, and also complete that form, have your conversation with Coach MJ. Sir, thank you so much. I hope and pray all the very best for you, for your charities, for your work, for your business, and the people that you touch. Thank you so much.
Blessings. Thank you, James.
Have a great one, sir.